Hello. It is day 64 of 365 and day 16 of the media fast. Yeah. No, I don't. I put this voice thing, and it's probably not recording, but I can hear it in the feedback, and it's freaking me out. So I took it all off, so it's normal in my ears. Today it is day 64. Even. It is an even day. Okay, so I want to call today is a day in the life of a mustache. Because of my thin, stressed hair, I started taking these pills that were prescribed from Korea, which I think is some of the stuff that gets prescribed a lot. And one of the side effects I was told is that I would get more facial hair. Even then, I don't think I was super self-conscious about it until, my nieces commented. And then I got really self-conscious. And then for a while, because it hurts like crap to get it threaded. And I mean, it always hurts, but I'm like, if I don't do something about it, it's not even like I look like a guy, like an attractive guy. I just look like a version of me. And, but then there was just a period where I was just I was kind of going like this. And it was, I don't know. It was very when I was petting my own face. I don't know. I am that girl who wants to be attracted to a guy, who'll torture herself to do it, to hit certain beauty standards because it just looks neat. But then there are days where I'm like, hee. But I was thinking about it because the kids I babysit asked me, would you rather? It's would you rather have a mustache or a beard? And I immediately knew I would rather have a beard than a mustache because the mustache just tickle the nose. Whereas a beard, it just hugs your face and you're warm. And then the thing that kind of cracked me up is because the little boy was like, what's wrong with you? And then there's another part of me that went, this was an imaginary voice in my head that was like, but Anne, you're Asian. Statistically, Asian men mostly have and if I was a boy, I would have the iconic little mustaches here. That go here, with the wizened beard, but no hair there. I did actually do that as a makeup look for my makeup class. And technically I cheated because I couldn't figure out how to glue it properly to do a mustache to look good. But I was like, this is how Asian, it's we're here and then we get the beard that we stroke, the philosophy beard. But yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about my childhood a lot because oh man, today just kind of flew by. For better or for worse, it did. I'm still struggling post-media fast, where I'm I went from 1,000 to 0, and now I'm it's all this and I was like, no, put it back, and I'm struggling a little bit because it's I think there's a part of me in this sense of I have no time. There's so much I have to do to better myself, and yet there's something easy about living in stories that someone else created for me. in my head, I have a really good story and I could see where it goes. And if I write it, I know it will be good. Not great. There's cliches in there. I know there's cliches. There's no thing as an ordinary. But it's like, even getting those moments where I'm like, I visualize it. I so clearly visualized that, and it made me cry. You know, I sound very egotistical, but if you've ever had an idea, and maybe this is writer brain, but like you made yourself cry because you're like, oh my gosh, where did this, like one of those moments, it would be, I don't want to go, it would be a tremendous, yeah, you know what? I'm using it. It would be a tremendous sin not to write it, not to publish it, not to show this idea, because I don't know where I read it, but I read it somewhere and I think it stuck with me of like, creativity or genius is an idea that's given to you, but if you don't use it, someone else will. Like it'll just come to you and it'll leave. And I think about that a lot because there's a lot of times where I watch things or I read things and I'm like, crap, I thought about that and I didn't do anything. And then there's those times, okay, this is not like creative fiction, but it was just, it was something that happened in real life. And I'm not saying it gift of prophecy and like I predicted the future, but am I going to say it? I'll just say it because it was just weird that it happened and now I can't like shake it. So I was getting jaw surgery done in Korea, and in that time I was like, ooh, I have like, and I'm still into like spy espionage thriller things, but I'm like, okay, if I were to write the story of, because I'm a girl and I like my girl superheroes, and I'm just saying it because I'm not going to write it anymore, but at the time I was like, ooh, okay, what is a plot that they can stop? And in my mind when I'm like, you know, a lot of times it's like sporting events. Sporting events is where people gather a lot. And so it was a couple of weeks before this actually happened, but I'm like, what is a sporting event that I like or do? Because I moved around a lot and I had no association with sporting events. But I remember this because it was eerie that this happened. But in my mind, like, oh, what's it like where people gather and they have to thwart it? What is something that is like epic? So, you know, like the sporting event is the distraction and underneath there's this espionage thriller thing and they have to thwart it. What's the thing they have to thwart? And in my mind, legit was like, oh, it's almost Boston Marathon. Yeah. As people are running the race, distracted by this marathon, my heroes are trying to thwart this big, like, avert disaster, like bombs. And I'm like, this is really good. This is going to be so cool because I could visualize it. I could see it. And I was like, yeah, okay. After my jaw surgery, I'll write this down because it's good. It's a really good story and stuff, you know, like I didn't want to do something right from the actual headlines. Cause you know, so I thought nothing's happened that I know of at the Boston Marathon. And then I anesthetized thinking like, as soon as I wake up, because I wake up and I hear, and this, I was in Korea at this time, but I was like, breaking news, Boston Marathon. And I was like, so when you get out of anesthesia, you're high, you're in a very altered brain state and you're like, what? Yeah, my brain did that. It predicted that. No, it didn't. It was just so coincidental, but I was just like eerie because, you know, I was in Korea thinking about like a cool espionage plot and then it happened in real life. And the other thing is I actually knew someone who ran the Boston Marathon. So in my mind went from, cool espionage plot to, holy shit, this actually happened. Is he okay? But my brain's done that sometimes. Yeah. Where I get this thing, and then it's like, it actually happens, and I was like... And obviously, this isn't like a latent confession. There's no chance that I'm involved in it, but it's just a little bit like... And I'm pretty sure, the internet being the internet, I'm not the only one who's had this feeling, where you think an idea got just in your head, and then it like actually happens. What does it mean, man? In my case, with the one I'm working on now, I think it just means that if I don't write it, because this one is not dramatic. Like, the story I'm writing is not dramatic espionage thriller. It's a romantic comedy. But I think this is one of those ideas that if I don't write and I don't publish, I think it just needs to. Yeah. So I am working on it. But a day in the life of a mustache. I don't know why I've been calling it that. I think it's just... And then I speaking of media struggles, well, actually, I saw this clip before Media Fast, but Marcelo Hernandez's comedy special about like the violent things women do to ourselves. We do a lot of things that are so violent. They're there. It's okay. I mean, but even... I don't even do half the stuff that women do to themselves. But the stuff I do, and even I'm like, why do we do this? It's scary. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Not such as we're on the mind. I do feel bad though, because I remember we made our dad shave his mustache. And then I'm owning up to mine. Nothing big to report. I think that's the thing I have to let go of. If I continue to do this, some days it could be like this. Or it's just nonsense a little bit. You just... One of the thoughts that you just pull out and you just... Let it out there. Okay. That's all I got. My face hurts a little bit. I did, and it hurts. It stings. So the question I will leave you is, if you can use... Well, no, I'm not going to do that. That's a silly question, and I'm not that silly of a person. So I'll say... Oh. I think I should report on something. It rained a lot. We're out of the snow, we're into the rain. Quantity's the same, but consistency's different. Does it make for a shitty day? Kinda. In the doom and gloom sense. Yeah. That was it. Nothing big, nothing dramatic. Just another day where I think of things that no one really does, but maybe someone does, and I'm just putting it out there on the internet. Good night.